Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Leandra. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far to my channel. And if you haven't, please be sure to go and hit the subscribe button. Today I want us to talk about breaking the silence. Ladies, let's dare to question. Let's dare to question. Now, human beings by nature are intelligent and are inquisitive. We seek to understand. Developments that you see today would not have happened or would not have come about if someone had not asked some relevant questions. We enjoy the luxury of being in cars, but it's because somebody asked a question. They probably thought, hey, isn't there a more faster and efficient mode of transport rather than us relying on the horse? Now, if you don't ask questions, you'll be stuck in primitivity. Yes, you'll be stuck in primitivity. But if you're a woman, the moment you begin to ask questions, people will look at you and they'll say, hey, it is what it is. You need to accept the status quo. Why do you want to know more? I want to challenge you to investigate more, to ask for more, and to understand issues better. When dating a guy, for example, we don't go to the extent of actually questioning their values, questioning their spirituality, questioning their views on marriage, for example, or questioning their views on raising children. We just look at the guy and we say, oh, he's handsome, oh, he's nice, and we end there. I want you to investigate deeper. I want you to look into issues and into matters even more. And because we're also afraid of offending people or of offending one another, if a friend comes to you and says, hey, Leandra, I have a suggestion, I think I'm quick to say, or usually we are quick to say, yeah, we're quick to accept we're quick to accept the suggestion without thinking of the consequences that has on your life, without digging deeper, without saying, hey, you know what? I need you to give me some time to think about this. I need to ponder more on this. And that's what I want to challenge you today to do. Simple and straightforward. Investigate more. Ask more questions. Dig deeper. Deborah, that we know in the Bible, in the book of Judges chapter 4, went to Barak and asked a simple question for them to be delivered from captivity. She said to Barak, hey, hasn't the Lord said that he's going to deliver us from the hand of Sisera? Hasn't the Lord said so? And that actually led them to going into battlefield, and they were delivered from captivity. So I want you to be a person who is intelligent enough to ask questions. Recently, I was talking to my husband and asking him the science behind 5G, because there's a lot of talk going on about 5G. And because he has a computer science background, he studied computer science, he understands that better than I do. And he began to tell me some words that I was really failing to understand, but I had to say, hey, you know what does that mean? What does this lead to? Why should we have this? Why is everyone talking about 5G? And at the end of the conversation, I had a better understanding. Now, also today, I want to bring an issue that I think is of great concern in our society. And I want you to also ask questions around to say, how are we raising our boys and our girls? And what effect does that have consequently on marriage? Because I'll give you a simple example. We have siblings, a brother and sister, boy and girl. So girl is obviously going to be taught how to clean and how to cook. But boy is going to be told that, hey, you know what, your duty is to make money. And somebody might be saying, hey, Leandra, we are in the 21st century, but you know what? These things are still happening. And I'm not referring to children who are being taken to boarding school. So let's fast forward when they go to school. Boy and girl, they're going to come back home. Girl is obviously going to clean and going to cook. Boy is going to get ample time to study, to do his homework. And when the reports are brought back home, boy, you probably would have passed with flying colors, and girl would have probably gotten her B's or her C's. And you look at girl and say, you know what, boys are just more intelligent than girls. And yet we are forgetting that we are raising our boys and our girls differently. Is the girl getting enough time to study? So let's look at how this is going to affect marriage. Now we go into marriage. We've got husband and wife. So because already the foundation has been set, we have husband and wife. They're both working 8 to 5 job. Husband is going to come back home and wife is going to come back home. But wife has to clean, has to cook, has to do dishes, has to make sure that homework is done. This is happening in certain family setups. And while hubby's sitting on the couch watching TV, yeah, and wifey doesn't ask. Why doesn't wife ask? Because obviously we are all told as women to say, hey, you know what? The duty of the wife is to look after her husband. I'm not saying it's wrong, it's right. But the point that I want to bring up today is to say, Wouldn't things be much more different in the homes if husband and wife help each other, if we just assist each other? Because what's going to happen is, in the long run, wife is going to get bitter. Wife is probably going to become resentful because she's saying, hey, you know what, I'm not getting enough help. People are not supporting me enough. And people will tell you, if you go back to your culture, people will tell you, you know what, it is what it is. That's how culture is like. But hey, haven't you ever thought of how homes would be if we had the participation of both husband and wife in raising the children, husband and wife in doing the domestic chores, husband and wife in doing the gardening, in doing the cleaning of the cars? Why should we leave that to be the job of the husband, this of the wife? This is the job of the wife. This is the job of the husband. What if we raise our boys and girls differently? What if we raise our boys and girls to know how to clean, to know how to cook, to know how to do the gardening, to know how to clean the car? I'm very grateful because I come from a family where my mother taught me how to clean the car. So I'm able to clean my own car. I don't have to wait for my husband to do that. And I'm grateful to God for that. But I'm saying, why don't we raise our children to know how to even do the repairs around the house? Because one day husband is not going to be there, and you need to do something as simple as changing a light bulb. Are you going to wait for him to come back home? One day wifey is not going to be home, and you're going to need someone who's going to change the diapers, who's going to do the cleaning for you. I mean, think about it. Why don't we raise equipped children? Why don't we? This is a question, because this is daring we want to dare to question. Why don't you raise our children differently? The moment you begin to ask questions, you evolve. If you want to evolve, ask why, ask what, ask how, because that's the only way you'll be able to evolve. And one thing you need to understand is intelligence knows no age. Yes, at whatever age you are, you're 70, you're 60, you're 15, you're 20, don't take issues at surface level. Don't accept things the way that they are. I want you to dare to question. If there are societal injustices, I want you to dare to question. I'll give you a simple example in closing of a certain scenario that happened one day when I was at work. So my previous workplace, we used to share a dispenser in our office. And so this guy comes and says, hey ladies, the dispenser needs to be cleaned. So the two of us, with my other colleague, we looked at him and we said, hey, did you employ a domestic worker to do that? Because really clearly for me, no one was employed to clean the dispenser in our office. That is, I mean, I have my own job, they have their own job, and if ever anybody wants a dispenser cleaned, I would rather we rotate, rather than saying, because I am a woman and I am expected to clean the dispenser. Why? Because I'm expected to do domestic chores. I want you to dare to question. Like I said before, if ever you want to evolve, you need to ask why, what, how, when. Investigate more, demand more, ask more. Subscribe.